So today we're talking about the powerful concept of duty. Duty is a concept that guides us towards purpose, discipline, and moral responsibility. Duty can mean something from a personal perspective as well as a societal context. And actually, Kant, the famous philosopher, Immanuel Kant, his philosophy underscores the importance of duty and practical examples of duties we owe to ourselves, families, society, and our creator. Duty itself demands discipline, doesn't it? Even when things are difficult or inconvenient, we have a duty to do X, Y, or Z. And we will give some examples of duty. The definition of duty is a moral or legal obligation to act in a certain way. It is more than just a sense of responsibility, isn't it? It is an action we take in service to others or, in fact, ourselves a lot of the time. When we have a duty, it requires sacrifice and discipline. And what that asks of us is to rise above self interest and fulfill our commitments to those around us, including ourselves. So Kant viewed duty as fundamental to morality. According to Kant himself, actions have moral worth only when they are done from duty rather than personal gain or desire. So, what he's saying is even if you have a desire to do something or you're doing something for personal gain, that isn't moral. Only is something moral if it's done out of duty. So, he argued that to act morally, we must follow the what he coined the categorical imperative, which is a principle that says we should act in a way that could become universal law. I.e., if everyone acted a certain way, how would life be versus acting in a slightly different way? So if someone helps others, this action should be universally applicable, making it a duty we uphold for the sake of moral consistency. So, duty for Kant is not about personal happiness or convenience. It's about acting from a place of moral principle, regardless of the outcome or difficulty involved. Duty then provides a structure through which we elevate our moral behavior, as it encourages actions grounded in ethical principles rather than just momentary impulses or desires. We've said it a couple of times already, but just to underline this really, duty demands discipline. We may not feel like fulfilling our duties every day, but true discipline means showing up and doing what we know we ought to do. Duty often requires us to override feelings that are fleeting for long-term values. The discipline in fulfilling duty shapes character as well as building resilience. So let me give you some concrete examples of how duty appears in our everyday lives, demanding both self-sacrifice and discipline. So we might have a duty to our family, providing for, protecting, and nurturing. We might have a duty to ourselves, committing to personal growth, health, and self-respect. We might have a duty to our friends, supporting them and being loyal, backing them up in a fight, or helping them out when required. We might have a duty in marriage or partnership, working through challenges and building trust. We might have a duty to our children, giving them guidance, education, spending money on them, even if we would prefer to spend it on, going out and having that steak. And we have a duty to instill moral values with them. We have a duty to our parents, showing respect to them as they age, or fulfilling your potential to make them proud. We have a duty to society, respecting others and contributing positively. We have a duty to our co-workers, collaborating effectively and sharing knowledge when required. We have a duty to protect others when someone's in danger. If you see someone run over on the street, you've got a duty to go and help that person, whether through direct action or through support, even calling the ambulance, that's helping to protect. We have a duty to community, engaging in maybe volunteer work or helping those out less fortunate or supporting local causes. We have a duty to improve our skills, constantly refining our talents and competencies. We have a duty, if we ever go to war, standing and fighting for the man next to us when we're facing danger and we have to protect our own nation. We have a duty to help the needy, offering resources to those in maybe emotional or financial need. We have a duty to speak the truth, being honest and maintaining integrity. And that's something that Kant again talks about, what's called the well, moral philosophy, essentially, where he says we should tell the truth. He says even to the extent where, you're in the house and a murderer comes in and asking where your friend is, and your friend is upstairs, you should tell them he's upstairs. Because if you don't and you say he's gone and he turns around and your friend escapes out the window, then your lies has caused his death. Your truth may not cause his death. And that's maybe something to discuss later on, but that's what Kant thinks about speaking truth. The next is duty to the planet, acting in a way that protects species, the environment, and you having your home space in a clean way as possible. Because if everyone's house is dirty, the country is dirty. You have a duty to the future, making good choices today that benefit your kids and their kids and society in the future. You have a duty to your own beliefs, living in alignment with your personal values and principles. You have a duty to contribute, whether that's to society, your job, via teaching, healing, mentoring, coaching, whatever it's going to be. You have a duty to forgive. Forgives us to maintain personal and relational peace. A duty in leadership, guiding and supporting those who rely on us. And as you grow older, you'll realize that more and more people do rely on you. A duty to pursue knowledge, seeking knowledge and growing intellectually and even morally. Duty in employment, performing your job with diligence, integrity, regardless of how you're recognized. A duty to defend freedom, supporting justice and freedom, even sometimes at personal cost. A duty to heal yourself or others. A duty to make ethical choices, choosing what is right, even when no one is watching. A duty to love, a duty to protect one's home, a duty to animals, a duty to fight laziness, a duty to develop self-control, resisting temptations that harm ourselves or others. We have a duty to our spiritual side, a duty to our country. We have a duty to be an example and act as a role model to the younger people or less experienced people. We have a duty to act on one's promises, whether they're promises to ourselves or to others. A duty to personal integrity, a duty to value the time that we have, a duty to remain educated, and even duty to create harmony. You'll see that duty is important. It's what we should do, regardless of how we feel. It's a principle that transcends those momentary feelings, compelling us to act out of respect, integrity, or in the best interest of yourself and others. It's a call to bring forward our best selves for the benefit of others, ourselves, society. And this philosophy of duty asks us to see morality as an action, a deliberate commitment to live our lives and live them in a way where our values build both personal and societal well-being. So the question is, for you, what duty do you have that you're not fulfilling? Are you being weak? Are you allowing your momentary feelings to stop you from doing things? You have a duty for many things and you know what they are, but you're not willing to act on them. So today, begin to act in duty and service.